Welcome, Transformers fans. My name is Composite EnerJoe, and today is the third aerialbot review, and it's going to be on the Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe class Air Raid. And here he is in his alt mode. Once again, ignoring the robo kibble. This is a very actually nice looking alt mode, and it is based off of a F-14 Tomcat fighter jet. And if you look at any photos and you put the wings out like this, it looks at pretty much identical. And if this jet mode looks vaguely familiar, that's because, yes, and I sort of hinted at it in the Skydive review. Air Raid here is the other aerial bot that is just a major retool of Skydive, in which they did fix this problem. The notch on his arm now can connect. This is what Skydive should have had, but didn't. But yeah, so yeah, this is the first, and I really hate saying this, but this is essentially a repaint. This is the same figure as Skydive, but only mechanically. I think that in terms of the aesthetics of it, it does look different enough where it doesn't bother me that it's essentially the same toy as a Skydive. But still, it's not bad. I think they did a really good job in this retool. So that's enough talking about the jet mode, since the jet modes do look drastically different. So yeah, F-14 Tomcat. So yeah, that's it for his alt mode. And and here's his weapon, and obviously two accessories. The gun, and here's one other thing I don't like. He has the same exact combiner foot weapon, combiner hand foot accessory as Skydive. It's the same exact one. Bummed out that it is, but it's the same exact one. And he also comes with a white version of Skydive's twin blasters. So once again, it's straight up a retool of the same figure. They didn't even bother changing all his other accessories. And one thing I forgot to show off in Skydive, you can actually put the twin cannons on top of the jet mode. I forgot to show this in the Skydive review, but Skydive can do the same thing. So unplug that, and let's get on to his transformation. So for this one, you fold up like so, pull out the arms like that, then come here, the legs pop off. Like if you notice, this is pretty much the same exact transformation as a Skydive, like that, but they changed enough aesthetically where it does feel like a different toy, so it doesn't hurt as much buying this guy. Then you come back here, fold up, and then connect it there. Rotate the head, and here we have Air Raid in his robot mode. And like Skydive before him, and I guess even Firefly to an extent, it's a really solid robot mode. Check out his head sculpt. Pretty nice head sculpt. I like it. Nicely detailed. And yeah, just the only thing that I think's kept over was the overall silhouette is pretty much Skydive. But you know, enough talking about that. As a standalone figure, he's actually pretty good, and he's actually an improved version of Skydive because they fixed the arm problem. So he is able to connect to his leg properly, unlike Skydive, who has that issue. So yeah, his weapons. Oh, and one cool detail is that they have this plug here, so you can plug his weapon on his arm to at least make him a little bit more different than Skydive. Like I said, there's enough differences where getting him is almost justified. Like it doesn't hurt as much with Skydive because he's not just a straight repaint. They did change quite a few things, so I like that. So yeah, trust me, and trust me, this is not the most painful repaint that I've ever purchased. You'll see that one eventually. Eventually you'll see him, and it kind of hurts, and he does have waist. So that's enough about his robot mode. Very solid alt mode. I think in terms of the alt modes, well, not yet. Honestly, I think well, not yet. Too soon to say. So yeah, that's his robot mode. So let's get into his limb modes. So let's go into his foot mode. So for foot mode, no, like this. Put that put up the connector port. And for foot mode, just put him into his vehicle mode. And one difference is that you keep the wings up like this. There you go. Arms down and tab him in. Because you can tap him into his arms. Tap into his arms, and that's it. That's foot mode. Combine foot. There. That's him in his leg mode. And like his other teammates, like his other teammates, he's a very solid leg mode. Very solid leg mode. But for my combination, I like putting him as a robot, as a arm. So let's get him into his arm mode. Very simple. Like that. Open up. And he's gonna be a right arm. And unfortunately, unlike Skydive, he didn't keep the way of storing the arms. So yeah, he doesn't have the same way of putting away. You can angle it the same way to have some uniformity, but it's not as smooth because there's no peg like the other one. Well, I guess you could do this. Just peg it in the arm. Oh, it does actually kind of does. It's just a different angle, yeah. And notice he has like a small peg there. Just put it there like that, and it works. So he does have it, although I think Skydive's connection has a better connection there. And then for this part, we'll rotate head back. And there. Then we get his, let's make this into a right hand. And then connect it. And boom, there we have him in his arm mode, which I like having him in his arm mode. So yeah, here he is in his arm mode, right there. And also weapon, I like plugging it up there. And there we go. And it's a solid arm mode. I prefer him in his arm mode for the whole combination. And that's it. Overall, solid vehicle, solid robot, solid leg, and solid arm mode. Overall, he's a great figure to have. One thing I will say is that I think the the Combiner Wars Deluxes are all around solid figures by themselves, and they do very impressive limbs for the most part. So yeah, that's it. Just solid figure, and I like it. I like Air Raid. So let's get on with the facts. Air Raid here was only repainted, I believe. Like, even though he is a retool of Skydive, and Skydive had like 4 other repaints, but this mold, this specific version of Air Raid here, this mold, as is, was repainted once as, I believe, the Unite Warriors Thrust. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, this was basically repainted with a different head into Thrust. And that's pretty much it, so not bad. Not bad. If you don't, take into consideration that he himself is a repaint retool of, major retool at that, but a retool of Skydive. But that aside, that's pretty much it. He's a great solid figure. And I like having him as an arm because it looks really nice when you have the 2 arms with him as the right arm and Skydive as the left. But this is my version of the combination. You can do whatever you want with him. So yeah. Nothing else, just solid figure, all around solid figure. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Air Raid. This has also been my 3rd aerial bots review. This is Composite EnerJoe signing off. Peace out.